I'm gonna say so. We're here. I'm gonna say shoot. I'm gonna say there's a watching a movie right now, and it's kind of crazy just thinking about how we've gotten to this point. And for me, talking to you, um, I wanted to start out about like the storytelling aspect, and just picking your thoughts on storytelling and what that means to you.
Mm. Storytelling to me, for me, storytelling is a release. It allows me to get like every possible outcome that I thought of something going on
Hmm.
or happening in my head out. And I feel free after I release a story. Like I've been writing stories in my notebook since I was a kid. And I used to write whole books in
Hmm.
all my notebooks. I still have them. And um, I'd feel so free right after finishing one because I got right on to the next one.
Hmm.
And I don't know, storytelling is just so fun because it's just like no one else could tell the story but me. I
Exactly.
made it up in my fucking head.
Right.
Like, it's just me. I made it up. Nobody else was a part of me thinking of this amazing idea. And yeah, it's just storytelling's freedom.
Hmm. I would say so. With that freedom, like embodying that in your music, like is that the main focus? Is like being able to make sure everybody understands and how you kind of introduce yourself to the world, especially with this new project.
You said, I'm sorry, repeat the question.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is you introducing yourself to everybody,
Hmm.
and so the storytelling aspect, like you're the narrator. So people going in, how do you want people to learn about Korin as they're listening to this project?
I want the main thing I want them to perceive from the project is just like um, my love for art
Mm.
because like I think the project even sounds like a play or a tragedy, the soundtrack to a tragedy, and I want to incorporate um, because it's like creativity and art and storytelling comes from like being inspired by different people. And I told you like humans are my biggest like inspiration points,
Mm.
and if I can tell a story that makes people feel connected to each other, like that would make me happy. Like
Mm.
that's what I want them to feel or take away from it the most, just like feeling a little bit more connected, like to themselves and to me, but also just because I think the project is very like upfront and honest
Okay.
about like my own faults and downfalls and what I fell for and what I was like 100% active and a part of.
Mm.
And I think that the project is kind of like taking accountability
Okay.
for like me, myself, and my situations, while also like relating to others. So yeah,
Mm. Do you Are there any misconceptions about you?
there's so many
I
misconceptions
would say
about me.
what's the biggest one?
Um, as of recent, I would say I don't know. Actually, now I don't.
Mm.
Before, the biggest misconception was just like, oh, she's mean and she thinks she's all this and all that.
Mm. Why do you think that is?
Because it's true.
Hey,
I mean, it is what it ain't, but it is what it ain't, but
that's
it
real.
is.
That's real.
I can't help that if someone, I don't care about, okay, let me go back to the beginning. What was your question?
So what's the biggest? Are there any
Oh,
misconceptions
misconception.
about
Yeah.
you? And then like, what's the biggest one?
I would say being that I'm cocky maybe might be a misconception because I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly just like confident within myself,
Okay.
and I feel like I paid what I was supposed to owe when it came to certain things, and now I'm at that point where I'm just like, why wouldn't I be fully confident and feel all the way here?
Exactly.
And if you feel the way, that's because you're not comfortable with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that's the biggest misconception is people not being comfortable with me, so they make up their own like
Their
their
ideals and.
yeah their idea of who I am,
Mm-hmm.
and that's they go with their idea of me rather than like me. And or even just like Instagram. Oh, that's one thing.
Okay.
People just think like, oh, she's an influencer, and it's crazy because I'm actually not an influencer. I started off with theater. I started off in theater since I was 8. I started off modeling when I was 6. I started making music when I was 15. Like none of this is new, you know. And a lot of people think like, oh, she went from Instagram to making music, and it's like Instagram made me money. That was it.
That's the main thing.
Instagram made me a couple thousand a month, and I didn't have to have a real job. And yeah, I'm leading to that. Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't you use your platform to make more money, or to build other artists up and make them like center of attention if they deserve it? You know, like I've been always given like free shit. You know, like free nails, free hair, da da da.
Oh yeah, you know, good little promo.
Yeah, exchange for good promo, and it always did what it was supposed to do. It always helped where it was supposed to help. But like, I am not an influencer. Like I can be. Actually, I am, because I definitely influence a lot of things that people do, and I'll never get credit for it. And I'm okay with that though. That's the thing about being like a it girl. Like you're not supposed to take credit for certain shit because you know you're here to take your ideas and put them out into the world, and people are gonna follow because you're a leader, and I've always been a leader. So I definitely hate the whole like Instagram baddie misconception. That's the most annoying part of it all, because it's like I never gave that.
Right.
I didn't show the art, but I never gave just IG baddie.
Gave IG baddie.
You know?
So like, do you ever deal with like imposter syndrome?
Oh my God, so much. Sometimes I do. I feel like everybody deals with imposter syndrome because it's like, do we deserve the things? Like things have come to me so not easily, but like
Free flowingly.
free flowingly,
Effortless.
Yes, but I had to learn like, girl, it's 1, because you deserve it. 2, it's God's will, and 3, this is your path.
Exactly.
And if anybody's mad at how things come to you, it's because that shit don't come to them like that. And I could never understand those people. I mean, I can. I feel bad for you, but make them opportunities for yourself.
And that's what it's supposed
And
to
I feel like that's why I'm so like, things have come to me free flowing, because I've always did the legwork to do what I need to do by myself, so that I was ready when those opportunities came. Like what they say, success happens when preparation meets opportunity.
Yes.
And I feel like I was preparing all my life, so every opportunity that came to me was free flowing, because it's like I did what I was supposed to do to get here. Or it's like it does nothing but make sense for me to be here. You know?
Yeah. Do you remember like your earliest memory of, you know, you being around music?
Yeah. My mom used to work at Hot 107.9.
Okay.
And we were just talking about this the other day. My mom was a single mom. My mom was in school, and she was a DJ, and she was working at Hot 107.9. And I just used to be up there with her all day, all night.
That's fire.
All night. I'd be at every 104.1. Was it V103? V103 was in another building, or it was in another floor. But every other station in Atlanta, like they knew me.
Okay.
Lil KK, they knew Little KK.
Lil KK.
Because I had so much personality. So like being around that, I remember like I used to see like Bow Wow, like Chris Brown, you know, like when they were young and popping. Like, oh my God, I used to see everybody. I think I saw Keisha Cole at the studio one time. I think I saw, it was like endless people. And I would just see,
That's fire.
I don't know, I just saw my mom in action, and I was just kind of like, this is great. And then my uncle was in like a singing group. He used to write, and he used to be my babysitter. So I used to be there a lot when he was making music. So I just always wanted to be in it. Like my grandma actually used to sing in the choir. I didn't really go to church that much, but when she would babysit me, I'd go to church with her. So like I think that was my way around music until I started having friends that made music.
Okay. And that's when you started to understand that like this is the path that you want to be on?
Yeah. I mean, I always kind of knew though, since I was 6. I told you I was modeling when I was 6. Theater 8 since I was 8 until I was like 17 when I booked my first like TV role. And I've actually was in love with film first. Like I'm always going to be in love with film. Like it's always going to be, music and film are like literally right here. There is, ooh, my nail. There is no one or the other. It's been a long night. There is no one or the other. They're both on the same level for me.
Okay.
Because I pay attention to both so much, and the details in it so much. So yeah, this really just been a from young thing. Like I've always been down. I've always been into it. Like I always knew I wanted to make music too since I was a kid. My mom used to take me to like vocal lessons and stuff like that
Mm.
with her friends that she would like meet that worked in the industry as well.
Okay.
And my mom was also a casting director or casting director assistant at some point too.
So this was always meant, like this was
Bro,
meant for you.
I used to be on set with my mom. I used to be, when she would be filming stuff for school, I'd be there, like everything. It was always going to happen this way. It was never not going to happen this way.
You know, divine timing. And I think like right now, you know, especially with you getting ready to basically pop out, like it's like you really just showing the world that like, yeah, you know, I'm here. You know, I'm ready. I'm confident, regardless of what anybody has to say. Like,
Just been loading up.
big little no. I'm gonna say like the cinematic aspect. You know, now we talked about storytelling a little bit earlier, but like, you know, what's your favorite movie?
Wait, pause. Is that the guy from Slumdog Millionaire?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I gotta watch this from the beginning. My favorite movie? That's very hard. Well, my favorite like movie series is Harry Potter. I love all the Harry Potters down. All the Pirates of the
Caribbean.
It's Caribbean, but they say Caribbean. Who the hell says Caribbean?
Caribbean
Who came up with that one?
Yeah.
Pirates of the
Shout out
Caribbean
Johnny
is what this
Depp,
is.
man.
And I really love Love and Basketball and Love Jones.
It's a classic.
Like,
Love Jones is a classic.
I will watch Love and Basketball with my eyes fully like wide open.
You could
I could recite every line.
Every single line.
Every single line.
Jesus.
Every single line. And then I love horror movies. Horror movies are some of my favorites, like Insidious, Hereditary, The Shining. There's so many. I love TV. I love shows. But I mainly, like, I'm a binge watcher. But it's because I'm trying to just, like, study. Like, I'm studying their acting. I'm studying the color. I'm studying the shot list. Like, I'm studying everything when I watch stuff. So, yeah.
So how do you incorporate, how are you incorporating that into this project specifically? You know, just like, you know, the love that you have for cinema, even this, like right here, you know, like we're in a movie theater, sitting here having a conversation.
I feel like it's the best place to have conversations with people, especially when it's
It
empty.
is.
But you said what? Oh, how does it correlate with the project?
Yeah, like how are you correlating like the cinema aspect and, you know, like encompassing that storytelling?
I'm making sure that the video and the rollout are all they're connected. Even with like how I'm gonna roll out the project, like it's gonna be very stretched out but connected, like a long ass series, season 1, season 2. But I'm doing that by keeping a cinematic feel. Even like with this, like everything has to be on brand, everything has to match, everything has to make sense. I want the people who do the artist's breakdown of top 10 cinematic references that Korin thought of, like, to match that up. Like, I want the symbolism there. Like, I'm utilizing all these things that we use in like film. Like, even like, okay, like for example, Euphoria. It's not Euphoria without Euphoria's look and Euphoria's coloring and Euphoria's shots. Like, it's not gonna be Euphoria without reactions. Like, they don't overdo their reactions. It's very realistic, like a typical high school teen right now, like how they barely give a fuck about anything. Like, it has to match up and it has to make sense. Every word that we use, every color that we utilize, like I'm trying to keep everything very connected because like it's like a play or like an opera. It's different acts and we're gonna keep that order and process.
And it's like, you know, it shows like like how serious you're taking it.
Yeah.
And like how meaningful this is and, you know, why this project means so much to you.
I think because it's really my baby and I've been waiting to put out music for so long, like I'm gonna do it right. I feel like you only have a couple times to make people hear you and make people listen to you. And if there's one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take that motherfucking opportunity, even if it's one. Because you never know what it's gonna do for you, just to like stand in your truth and work with the stuff that you love. Like, this is not stuff I'm trying to get into. This is stuff I've been into my entire life, and now it's time to use that. And because I feel like that's my favorite thing about me, like my love for different arts and my love for creativity and not be able to stick to one thing. So if I can show that beautiful chaos, like that functionable chaos, like I'm going to do that.
You like operating in that function?
It's not that I like to. That's just what it is. I would never choose for chaos, but it also kind of inspires me at the end of the day, and it makes everything feel worth it. If everything was so easy, like, would we really like it?
Right. Exactly. I think everything's supposed to feel difficult. Like I feel like, especially in the creative space and in the artistic world, everything should feel as if
A challenge.
You have exactly a challenge, and you have to literally like lose
Uncomfortable.
every single ounce of you in it to make like the best product possible.
Yeah, you got to get uncomfortable, or you'll stay in the same bucket as everybody else.
I'm gonna say like what about studio essentials? Like when you're recording, like what is that atmosphere for you like? Because I feel like to me personally, and you know this is probably just me like guessing, like you know the type of aura that you go for.
Yeah.
Like a dark room maybe. You know some type of like aesthetic that like.
It
really,
depends.
Yeah.
Depends on the night.
Okay.
Because really, what's ideal for me, if I had it my way, I'd be on the top of a cliff or a hill or somewhere in LA in those hills, looking over beautiful scenery and water. And it would be daytime. We'd be recording from 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. That's my ideal thing. But some nights I do want to, like, I get a little tipsy off the wine with my friends. So I'm like, I got some shit to say. Let's go. I go in the studio, bring an incense, bring a candle. That's usually what helps up my vibe, incense or a candle. And get to it. Just like start talking and vibing with each other. And I try to get that one line or purpose of the song from the people that I'm around. But honestly, my favorite thing to do is just record in my room alone. So honestly, I feel like now I want to just start getting hotels every other weekend, like once a month, and just record in a hotel by myself. I just bought a new mic.
Okay.
My first expensive mic.
I'm gonna say, have you already started recording off of it?
Yes.
And you're hearing the difference?
Oh my God, what?
Love it.
I stopped recording in my room just because my mic was terrible, and now I have a new mic, so
I'm
I'm so excited.
I'm gonna say, okay, so like, you know, besides microphones, like what's like one of the biggest challenges that you've had to face, you know, that you feel like you're still dealing with as, you know, an upcoming, you know, independent emerging artist?
Wanting to produce the quality cinematic rollouts to match what I'm trying to make without a budget, and that shit's hard because it's like you really want to pay your people everything that they're worth, and you just be so grateful when they fuck with you.
Yeah, I think it's a blessing, especially like when you have people around you who just, you know, believe in the vision and see, you know, like where you're going and kind of understand like, you know, what's all happening, and then just like building it together because everybody's so talented.
Bro, it makes it worth it. I love being able to like help people express themselves or express their talent, and just giving them the platform that they need to show who they are when other people aren't listening. Because there's one thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna listen.
Right, yeah. I'm saying, I think, especially when you listen, like, you find the hidden gems all the time.
Ooh, yes.
You know,
I feel like I had another answer for your question, too, though. Can you just say it again?
Okay, yeah, for, oh, damn, I think I forgot it. Oh, no, that's, damn.
Oh, the challenges and
okay, yeah, okay,
making
yeah,
all
I'll
this
re-ask
stuff.
it. So, like, what's one of the most difficult, you know, or like what's one of the biggest challenges that you've had, you know, during this time, like as an independent artist, who's coming up and making waves, you know, like what's been one of the biggest challenges for you?
I think also not only like, you know, not having the biggest budget to do what I actually want to do, it's not, because that's not terrible. We can always interpolate things like to make them simpler, but also get the point across. But luckily, I work with so many talented people that they help me figure that out without the huge budget, and it makes everything feel possible. But I feel like the biggest challenge for me might be trying to make sure I'm making stuff that people will like.
Okay.
Because I'll really make all music that only I would listen to, but that's just me. And
do you feel like that's the purpose though?
Yeah, I feel like music's definitely for me and for me to tell my story the way I should, but like sometimes people don't always want to be in their feelings. You know,
That's
sometimes
real.
they want to dance.
Mhm.
So sometimes I want to dance. Sometimes I need to switch it up. But
Mhm.
I think that it also comes like as a blessing because it's like, well, I guess people's opinions are definitely one of the hardest things, and because like you always either have to take them in consideration or try to ignore them, and you really just got to see the beauty in it and take it for both things,
Mhm.
both ways. And I don't know, I kind of don't see things as a huge challenge. Everything has a solution in my eyes.
That's real.
Like, if it's one thing I'ma always have is an answer, Sway. I always got an answer, Sway.
I'm gonna say you should. I mean,
I process things so differently. Like,
Yeah.
I be thinking of solutions that everybody be like, damn, I didn't think about that.
it's crazy you said that because I literally just saw a tweet like not too long ago about they were like, I hate people who are so solution oriented, and in my head I was like I feel like there's a solution to everything, and I think somebody who's solution oriented is somebody who's just trying to evolve and grow.
Exactly, because it's like, what's the point of sitting here being upset and negative about some shit I can't control? And it's like, that's when I do get irritated, when I can't control something. But then I just rework it to where I'm still in control. So it's like, that's the solution. Like, I don't know. A lot of people don't have finesse. A lot of people don't know how to make things happen for themselves. And it's like, you can though. Like, who told you you can't? You can though. Like, fix that shit. Find the solution. Like, there's something to make up for something. Like, yeah.
No, I agree. So I'm gonna say the last thing I just wanted to ask you about was how would you define this new era for you?
I'm definitely in the next, as far as this project or like what's next?
Mm, let's go. Let's go. What's next?
I feel like I'm free to experiment now.
That's good.
I think that's all I really want to do is just sit down and experiment. I want to not have worries. I want to not have to work on anything else but me experimenting and me finally finishing this project and putting it out and getting this like this first era out and this first just this first body of work out so I can get to the next thing. And it's not that I'm in a rush. It's just like I love the research and development stage
Okay. Yeah.
of making a project. Like me and ODK are literally in that like research phase for the next thing that we're working on.
That's good. Like you're trying to just figure out like the entire encompass, like what the
Science, the formula.
The formula. Yes, we need the formula.
Finding the formula is so important. So yeah, that's the stage I'm in right now. I love it. I love finding the formula stage because it's like we have so much room to fuck up. We don't have to be perfect. I feel like that's the best feeling in the world is not having to be spot on, dead ass, and perfect. So taking those imperfections and seeing beauty in everything and taking inspiration from everything I see, like being in that mode rather than like I can't hear nothing, see nothing else until I'm done with this project and I'm like,
I got tunnel vision.
you know, like I got tunnel vision right now and it's like that's great and all, but like ooh, that research and development stage be so beautiful. You just never know what you're even gonna come up with. It just happens. Like although it's intentional to a certain extent, like it's just a beautiful process.
Man, I love that. Well, I think it's time for us to, get out of here. I think we got somewhere else to go, don't we?
Yes, we have somewhere else to go.
All right, come on.